Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode on this public investment playlist series. If you've followed this channel for quite some time, you know what this is all about. Sorry for the change of scenario. Each month I show what I'm publicly doing with this investment portfolio. We started from scratch, and as I go on through life, I've been investing more and more into this portfolio. We started with only 40 euros per month, then we jumped to 80, 120, and lately we've been investing in 150 euros. I'm using the Trading 212 app, so let's jump in to see how the portfolio is performing. Just a disclaimer, the Trading 212 app just changed the layout again. That's been happening quite often. I already reached out because the return that you're seeing on the screen right now is not correct, because they are using the money that's deposited there. If you can see on the bottom, you have cash that's just sitting there and investments, the 5,179 that you see here on the bottom. So basically my return is around 41-42% currently, not these 63% that's representing, because it's having into consideration that the cash that's here, that's a plus. I don't know why they are making this calculation, but I'm sure they will fix it soon. So right now we are with 5,180 euros with a return of 40%. The total return is 1,500 euros. So far so good. The portfolio has been performing quite nicely. In terms of asset allocation, we can see here that the bulk of the portfolio is this ETF called QDVE, Information Technology Sector, so IT. It has a lot of big companies, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. This was something that I was contributing on a monthly basis, so this represents more than a quarter of the portfolio. So it's a very focused ETF. Then we have the S&P 500 with 21%. So this is just mimicking the 500 biggest companies in the US. Then my third largest position is Alphabet. So with the total return from my entry price at 73%. So we entered more or less at 116, and right now it is trading at 198. Then we have a very general ETF, FTSE All World. So this basically has 3,600 companies, something around that. That's also been performing quite well. Then we have a Chinese StockTrade.com, Walt Disney, and you can see here the rest of the portfolio. So the stocks that are trading in the red are Intel. So my entry price is around 28, and right now it's trading at 21. Nike, but it's very close. So my entry price is 76, and right now is at 72. And Adobe is also down a bit. And Farfetch was a company that I invested, and the company went completely bankrupt. So there's always risk involved. Don't trust here a random guy on YouTube. I'm just sharing these as a way of having a time capsule for both my vlogs and here my investment decisions. I'll look back and know exactly, oh, right now I'm in this temporary accommodation, I'm moving jobs, moving geography. I'm trying to rush this video as much as I can, as I'm having very little time to manage. Hopefully I'll be able to maintain this series, but only time will tell, and if not, I will try to update whenever I can. So let's see the pies that we've created in the past. So we created some. Each month I create a different pie, so I look at my investments slightly different each month. And as you can see here, actually most of them are in the green, but this was not always the case. Sometimes they are in the red, sometimes the market will be up, sometimes the market will be down. It's all part of my strategy, dollar cost average. Sometimes I'll be investing when at the lowest price, very good entry buy points. Sometimes it will be at really bad times. I'm sure in one of these months I really thought some things were overvalued and I didn't buy it, and then now they are still even more expensive. This past performance isn't indicative of future results, but I'm just having this as a side as a side retirement plan. I always remind you, always do your own emergency fund. Quite recently I needed that when I'm moving here to Switzerland. It's been only a couple of days and I've already drained quite a lot of my savings until I get my first salary here, and so it's good to have this in mind, because otherwise I would have had to sell probably some of these stocks, and I would have to realize these gains, and I would have to pay tax in them, and this is a way of me trying to build up my net worth for the time being. So let's see what was the pie that I created for this month to keep this going fast paced. So we have here S&P 500 information technology sector, okay, so that's the big portion, 30%. S&P 500, 15%, the ETF. Then we have a Chinese stock, Alibaba, Adobe, that was down on my entry price, so I'm trying to lower my entry price a bit, 10% there, 10% for the more general ETF. So as you can see here, over 50% of my allocation for this month is going to ETFs. I'm not focusing here on that much on individual stocks, even though the first ETF is quite focused, but I'm still young, I have an entire life ahead of me, and my risk profile can really tolerate this. Johnson & Johnson with 5%, Intel 5%, JD Hong Kong 5%, ASML 5%, and Nike 5%. So we just close this and we will invest. And since I'm moving to Switzerland and I have here 3,000 euros just being parked here at Trading 202, as you want to call it, and the beginning of this year I want to raise my investment contributions to 200, maybe 250, and this is gonna be a new amount. Maybe I'll have to adjust throughout the year, but I already have the money, so I can at least make these portfolios even if I cannot contribute to this Trading 202 account. Of course, this depends from person to person, and right now I think I should be allocating these. We started really small, and as I progress throughout the series I'll be able to contribute bigger chunks. Of course, this is gonna even lower, or actually my entry price are gonna be higher because this is a larger contribution than the past ones, but this is all part of the game, and we will just move on forward. We are ready to go. And oh, sorry, let me just see if I'm not doing anything wrong. How to invest off, because each month I like to create a different pie, although investments are quite similar throughout. Okay, so this you can see here the allocation: Alibaba 25, Adobe 25, then the ETFs are the biggest chunk of this contribution. Okay, free, so there is a forex fee of 18 cents. Okay, confirm. And sorry, I have to use here a light. It gets dark super soon. I've been having really long days, and so now the orders will execute if the markets are open. Some of them will be open, maybe others not, and just wait a bit. 50%, 60%, as they are executing every single order that we just selected here, and we can see the whole thing. So right now the cash is allocating to the orders that we're doing. So Adobe already invested, Alibaba alright, ASML, Intel, JD.com, Johnson & Johnson, Nike, and the iShares S&P 500 have not executed yet. So let's see how the portfolio is now looking up. I don't know, I also update something on my Instagram. Now this is, I cannot take a screenshot, but then you can see here on the bottom 5,400, that's the total value of the portfolio, with a total return of 1,571. Actually, let me see if I have here the options. So total net deposits around 6,900, but remember 3,000 of them are here just sitting in cash. So we have invested more or less 3,800. Let me see if the portfolio has executed in the meanwhile. Yes, no. So we are here 70%, and maybe tomorrow it will update. But for the time being, this is how the portfolio is performing. Hopefully by the next episode, Trading 212 will correct these user metrics, which I don't know why they are changing so much lately. But then again, you might be using a different brokerage anyway. And this is just for time capsule purpose. Thank you all for watching these videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye.